All right. How's everybody doing? Good morning, good morning. You might get an echo. Yep. All right. Yep. Looks like everything's up and running fine. Good morning, all. Good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing today? Yeah, I'm still using them, Percy. Why? Missouri, good morning. Netron, good morning. John O, good morning. Melanie, two-way, what's up, brother? Yeah, Elizabeth, I'm watching TIK. Bill, good morning. Foy, good morning. Norman, what's up, man? Does a repurchase from the company mean a stock is going to surge up? A share repurchase, I think it typically means that they're repurchasing shares, lowering the float, creating higher value, but I'm not 100% sure. You know, it'd probably be better to look it up. Yeah, Percy. I mean, here's the thing with TradeNet, right? I mean, TradeNet's just an overseas broker. You know, SureTrader does the same thing. The only reason nobody's talking about SureTrader is because the guy that made the video about TradeNet is sponsored by their parent company, SpeedTrader, right? And so, you know, I'm not saying that there's no conflict of interest. I'm just saying that they all do it. And so if you're going to criticize one, you should criticize the other instead of making it seem like one of them is the only one doing it. You know, it's kind of like a witch hunt. It's stupid, you know. Yeah, I'm watching TIK to see if it fills the gap. I want to see a little bit more volume. You know, the volume's pretty low. And so I do want to see some more volume with it. Looking at AMD and NIO as well. WPM looks okay. I want to see some more volume with this. Honestly, it's a little slow today. I'm not seeing too much I really like. But we'll see if we can find anything decent. I mean, I've still watched WPM. It's tradable. It has some levels to follow. Yeah, well, the plan, Susanna, like it's just to scale up slowly. You know, like I don't know if I'll move up. It just depends. I think I need to get used to 300 shares first. Which is, you know, I've been using 300 shares this week. It's been okay. In gross profits, it's about break even, but after commissions, I'm down. Really, I can upload yesterday's trades to see what my graph looks like this week. I can do that really quick as well. 13th. That's way too loud. John, what is this? Thursday was yesterday. Yeah, John. Okay, that needs to get down. That's way too loud. Let me upload it to TraderView. Alright, let's see what my graph looks like after that. It's going to be down a little bit, but yeah, I mean, this is my graph overall in the last, I don't know, month and a half. And so, I mean, I took a little hit yesterday, but it wasn't a huge hit. And, you know, it's still a nice graph. Like, especially in the last 3 weeks. If you look at the last 3 weeks, you know, pretty decent graph. I've only had 2 losing days in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So only 2 losing days in 11. trading days, so not bad still. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep using 300 shares. Like I knew I would have maybe a transitional week where I have to get used to the bigger sizing, and that's kind of what I got, and that's okay. That's TraderView, Ruckus. So just go to traderview.com. TREDERVUE. It's TraderView. Really cool software. Lets you kind of keep track of everything that's going on. You know, details. Accuracy rate went down. I mean, I'm still at 77.8% accuracy rate. 4 losing trades in 14 trading days. With the bigger sizing, you know, it's going to take a little bit of like I said, a little bit of a transitional period, but overall I'm still happy with it. But man, see Thursday strike again. You know, I don't know what it is about Thursday, man. Thursday has just been hurting me. Maybe I'm making excuses, but Thursdays. I've also been noticing that I've been having much better results a little bit later on in the day, and so maybe I'll consider that today as well. You know, just trying to let my stats guide me here. Overall, I'm still happy with the stats. My largest loss in my average losing trade is bigger than my average winning trade because I started to scale up this week, and with that, you know, it's kind of been a break-even week, and so that's going to kind of negatively affect those two. But still 2-to-1 profit factor, so I'll take it. It's just it's going to be a process, like I said, scaling up and sizing, and I'll get there. Oh, I also had another green trade yesterday. I forgot to show you guys, but I brought my loss on the day down to like $18. I ended up getting in Cron here, and I got in with 200 shares. I probably should have got in with 300, but I ended up getting in Cron right here, not here. I ended up getting in Cron here, and then holding it down to about right here, 11.13, and so I was really happy with that trade. I got most of the move there, but it brought my loss down to about 18. But then when you add commissions, it was still like a $30 loss after commission. So it is what it is. But yeah, that's right, Susanna. 100%, I agree. Yeah, you can trade most ETFs on TradeNet. No, so Ruckus, you see, so to export your data, all you do is you go to trade, historical data, trades, and then I just select my account. Select. You can only add it week by week, and so I usually add it every day anyway. But you select the date. You click filter, and then you click export, and then you name it, and you go to TraderView, find the file, and upload it. All right, guys. Well, how's everybody doing this morning? What's up, James? What's up, man? Yeah, I'm seeing some stuff down. I mean, Cron's down, AMD's down, the cannabis stocks are down, NIO's down, QD, NBEV is down, TIK up, ALQA. I can't trade this one, but ALQA is moving some as well. It's gapping up from 213 to 297, almost $3. That sucks. Two-way. I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right, James. I'm going out of town today, man. I'm going on a vacation today. Not a vacation. I'm going to a wedding. But yeah, going on a trip after, like, as soon as the stream ends today. We're leaving. I've heard that. I haven't really heard anybody that had problems with withdrawals, Andrea. Most people that I've talked to that have withdrawn haven't had problems with that. I've heard people say they have a problem with what was it? With the spreads and limit orders, which, I use market orders to get around that. I really haven't heard people have problems with withdrawals though. But I mean, like I said, this is the thing, right? It's an overseas broker, and most overseas brokers are going to do that. If you look up SureTrader withdrawals, I'm sure you're going to have some people complaining about it too, and that's really with any broker. I'm not one of those people that mindlessly defend any broker, but I think it's a little hypocritical if you're just going to attack one and then ignore everything that's going on with the broker that you're using. And so I like to just kind of say it's kind of a necessary evil with the overseas brokers world. And, if you don't like any of that stuff, you're going to have to find a broker that lets you trade with less than 25K, which is going to be tough because all the brokers overseas that let you do that are, they're like TradeNet. They do the same thing. Hey, appreciate it, James. Yeah, so I can trade it. I can, Ruckus, so Tefs saves all my trades for me. So like Tefs right here, it saves all my trades for me. So like I can just go to historical data and trades, and really I can look up, like you look up weeks is what you do. So like I can look up this past week and it shows me all my trades. If I make it bigger, it shows me all my trades. Let me see if it'll let me do 2 weeks. I doubt it will, but I can try. Yeah, no more than 7 days. But, you can go week by week and upload your trades. That's what I do. Oh no, what have I done? I messed up my screen. Right, I mean, here's the thing though, right, with Salty. The thing with it though is that SureTrader does the exact same thing. Like, SureTrader has so many shorts because they take the opposing side of your trade. At least when you're signing up with TradeNet, at least that's what you get. Like, that's what you're signing up for. That is literally what a CFD is. And so you can not like CFDs, and that's fine. But other overseas brokers, you're going to be going to them and trading the same way, but you're not going to really know about it because they're not going to tell you that's what they're doing. And so it's kind of like, yeah, you can hate on TradeNet, that's fine. But if you're going to hate on them, I expect you to hate on SureTrader and every other overseas broker because they all do the same thing. Let me see where Mitch is at. I'll get back to... I mean, that sounds plausible, Luke. I don't know, man. It sounds like it'd work. Let me see where Mitch is at. Let me text Mitch. Wait, where's my phone? But yeah, the market's looking okay today. I mean, I'm not in love with it by any means. It's looking alright. I mean, a lot of stuff is down. We don't have that much volume overall in the market in general, so gotta be careful today, guys. Right. I mean, it's all, all the overseas brokers, like, they're all good for different things. They really are. Like, I don't mind. It's not that I dislike SureTrader. I just understand that SureTrader does the same thing that TradeNet does, and they all do it. And they all are good for different things. TradeNet is good for really cheap commissions, decent cheap platform, smaller sizing because commissions are cheaper and you can kind of approach it that way. A lot of shorts, not so good with like penny stocks and stuff like that. A lot of stocks aren't tradable, and so that's kind of one of their flaws. SureTrader is good for, I love their platform. You can trade more penny stocks on SureTrader for sure. But it is expensive, and the platform's expensive in general, and so they're all good for different things. And I'm not hating on anyone in particular. I just think they all do. They all take the opposing side of your trade. They all make money when you lose, and like that's just kind of how it is. You can't just pretend like it's only one of them, and then ignore all the other ones doing it. That's hypocritical. You gotta acknowledge it about all of them and just be honest with people about it. Right, but what he's saying though is I understand what he's saying, Salty. What Luke means is that essentially, like, right, if you're on TradeNet, right, I don't know, with any of these overseas brokers that are kind of like that, if you're on there, you could essentially just try to take a home run swing on one trade, and if it works out, it works out. If not, you lose the 500. You can try it again or whatever it is, and then one of those times you might be up 30, 40 grand a year's salary, and only risk the $500. I don't think it would work like that. I think you would probably get stopped out a ton, just because if you're going to take that big of sizing, you're going to have to take bigger risk, and you have a max loss on TEFs, and so you get stopped out really easy, I think. So I don't think that would work, but it sounds like it might. I don't know. Right, you see what he means. Like I understood what he was saying. It sounds plausible, I guess, but I don't know. I've never tried it. Yeah, they do. They only let you sign up for the intro twice, which I understand it as well. TLRY. Ooh man, TLRY did get hit. Yeah, this one was once at $300. TLRY. Yeah, it's just, the hype got behind these cannabis stocks, and, sometimes hype is better than actual, like, facts. And, it just ended up giving it back. I remember talking about this when it was up around 300, saying, it's not that I don't think it's going to succeed or anything like that. I just think that since cannabis is a relatively new sector, and at that point in time when this stock was at 300, that it wasn't even legalized in Canada yet, that it's kind of hard for this stock to be a $300 stock, and some people disagreed with me. Eventually it ended up coming right back down, which is what I thought it would. And so I don't know, I think just hype got behind the cannabis stocks. We'll see where they go. They've been dropping a lot. Cron, TLRY, CGC, NBEV. Yeah, I'm watching WPM as well. That was one of them on my watch list. Just because it's, it has some very obvious levels here. No sign of Mitch yet. Let me see where Mitch is at. I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to go grab my phone, see where Mitch is at. All right. You still have 8 shares of TLRY, Danny? Looking for a bounce, man? All right, so yeah, we got some movement. Gonna take it a little slow here. But yeah, what do you guys think, man? Do you guys think that I should do you guys think I should maybe skip Thursdays? I mean, you can see this, like, overall, my trading's been decent. My accuracy rate's still pretty high. But I'm questioning whether I should skip Thursday or not, because Thursday, historically, has been a pretty rough week for me. Um, it's the only week in the last month and a half where I'm actually in the last month or so where I'm actually in the net loss for that specific day. Every other day of the week I'm net gained on the day, but Thursday I'm not. Maybe I should at least either size down or take it slower on Thursdays. But not a bad little graph here. 2 losing days in 11 or 12. And so not bad. The way YouTube works is like green day, green day, green day. On these pullbacks, they tell me I suck. But, yeah, we'll watch WPM here. It's still climbing a little bit. Putting in some highs here, testing that $19 level. That's something I'll watch. But yeah, the market's been dropping some, guys. I mean, let's see what the overall SPY is doing. ALQA getting some volume. That's true, John O. That's about a month and a half of data, Joe Chase. Yeah, I think that's a good way to look at it, John O. Is that yeah, the SPY's down. I think that's a good way to look at it. I used to hate Wednesdays, and now Wednesdays are good, and so Thursdays are bad for me now. So maybe it's just random day of the week, but it seems like Thursdays have been worse, but who knows? But yeah, it's like if I clear this, this is my month and a half graph. And so it's good. I mean, it's not terrible. A little bit of a drawdown here, but overall I've rebounded nicely. Got it up. And I mean, $111 gain with 100 shares is pretty good. It's the equivalent of if I was using 1,000 shares, it would be 1,100. And so, $1,100 gain in a month and a half. So it's not bad. Just in the process of scaling up, we'll see. What's up, Jacob? See if we get anything new pop up on the scanners here. We got ALQA, which I was talking about earlier. TLRY continuing to move down. What else do we have? SEE, SGMS. Just low volume for some of these. XPO looks like some type of looks like just a rebound some. Yes. ACB, love hate. Yeah, ACB is just a cannabis stock. It's just following what the other cannabis stocks have been doing, which is dropping lately. Yeah, I like that. Don't get into it unless it's the perfect setup. Yeah, like I said, maybe I rushed into the trade yesterday. I honestly don't think my AMD trade was bad yesterday. I think the risk reward was there, and it was a solid trade idea. I think that I held it too long past my risk. I gave myself a risk in this trade of 52, and it broke 52 and kept going. And after it broke 52, I said, well, I'll let it test this support at 2060. So, that was my mistake. I just held it a little bit too long. And, yesterday would have actually been a green day, considering the second trade I had on Cron, if I would have just sold at 52 like I was planning on doing on AMD. But it ended up being gross profit. I was down $18 or no, 17 yesterday. And so I'll take it. But just glad I rebounded some. But that was my mistake. And it's something I've been noticing with the process of scaling up to where I'm a little bit more reluctant to get out at my risk. I kind of let it test my risk a little bit too much, and so maybe a hole in my game I need to fix. What's up, Track Racer? What's up, brother? Nice, man. Hey, welcome back, Track Racer. Welcome back, bro. Hope you've been doing well, man. Mitch is here. Yo, yo. Yo, yo. What's up, man? All right, guys.
What's going on?
We got Mitch here.
What's going on, guys? Let's do this. Getting ready for the day.
Yes, sir.
All right. Seeing pretty much a week, not gap ups, but essentially gap downs.
Yep.
Keeping an eye on AMD also. Have an eye on that one. Want to see it make a move down to that 1941 support. That's what I have written down from yesterday. And I wanted to see it this morning underneath 1970. And it's hanging out at 1960s. I like that right now where it is. I have written down APHA underneath 5. So I'm going to be looking for APHA to break down underneath 5 and make a move down towards that 450. I think the first move is going to go down to a smaller support, which is 496. But we'll keep an eye on that one.
Look at WPM. I'll be right back. Hold it down. But look at WPM. Doesn't look bad.
All right. Actually tradable. Precious metals. All right. What are we doing, precious metals? We are making a run to the resistance. What's going on? What's going on, guys? How we doing? Isaiah saying I'm tardy.
You were tardy, bro. You were tardy, man.
Hey, I wasn't tardy. I was here. John's the one that's asleep.
I mean, I'm up. That's all I'm saying. I'm up, man.
My hand's been raised.
I'm awake, bro.
My hand's been raised. What can I do?
All right.
I was just looking at stocks, letting you guys talk.
What's up, Harrison? What's up, Dex? But yeah, man, it's been cold in Houston, honestly, man. It's been pretty cold.
Uh-oh. That trigger finger. Da-da-da-da.
I mean, I don't know if I'm ready. I'm a little not hesitant, but the market's down. We'll see what we get. The only thing I'm worried about today with the market is a possible rebound, just because everything's down. It's been down for the last few days, and so.
Yeah, man. Yesterday was some pretty good moves.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, some definitely good moves.
Yeah, honestly, that second trade I had yesterday on Kron, I actually got most of the move here. I think I said that was like my best trade of the week for sure, just because the uh, the percentage of the move I took was probably the biggest because I got in at 40, sold at 11.07 or 11.10 maybe. And so got
Yep.
about 30 cents, but it was a big move for Kron.
Yep. You just got to stick to the same share size, and you always got to look at the macro.
Right.
Um, I think that's what happened to you yesterday. You got too excited, too confident in AMD, and didn't really take a chance to look at what it's been doing the last couple of days. It does still have a VWAP fade, but a lot of times it has that first fake out. So one of the keys is you want to see it breaking supports.
Right. Well, no,
Um,
that's
and, and that's kind of what we really didn't get too far into. You got a nice wash, big volume on the way up, and you didn't see the bag holders step in there and it
right.
pushed it right through the VWAP.
I mean, it's something that I'm gonna have to work on today, which is I think I need to wait for a little bit more confirmation in it. The VWAP fade's done me extremely well the last few weeks, but I think especially this week I've been having much better results a little bit later on. I think the first fade is kind of iffy, a little bit riskier. And so I think if I wait for those later day fades, like if you look at AMD, it ended up fading really nicely later on in the day, and it had two nice rejections as well. And so I think with that said, same thing with Kron. And so I think with all that said, I think I need to wait maybe a little bit later on for longer term fades, a little bit later day fades. I think that should be a reasonable approach to it, depending on what we get at the open. But that's kind of how I'm thinking of approaching it. Just maybe waiting for some confirmation in the downward trend, the downward intraday trend. NBEV is kind of moving some. I mean, it's still down a ton, but it's kind of rebounding a little bit here if you look at NBEV. And I mean, this was one of those stocks that looked bullish until about, 10:30 yesterday, and then it just, nice little fade there. I actually saw this one fade, almost took it, but didn't. But I've been noticing the later day fades a little bit more. But NBEV is probably one of the ones that are more extended on the upside instead of the downside. I think that a lot of the cannabis stocks, if you look at the daily chart, I think they still have some room to come down, honestly. But I think that NBEV looks a little bit more extended than, say, Kron or CGC on the upside.
Yeah, seeing as Kron's the one with the actual positive news, I'm kind of leaving Kron alone. Just not really where I can see myself having the best opportunity. I like the other stocks that kind of bounced off of sympathy and haven't come out with new news or something to kind of claim why it's bouncing in the first place.
Right.
Those are the stocks that just kind of made an up move just because Tron went up.
Right, just sympathy.
And those are the stocks I feel like you can make a better play on just based on the fact that investors shouldn't be getting into that one thinking that, the only thing that's happening here, I think, is more speculation on which is the next company that's going to get bought up.
Right. I think here let's look up some news. We got about 5 minutes, so we can look up some news real quick. WPM is up because it reached a settlement. It reached a settlement on the Canadian tax dispute regarding foreign income, and so it reached a settlement. Sounds like with the Canadian government, and so it is up after reaching that settlement. We also have, what else do we have? ALQA gapping up some. Cheaper penny stock, probably not. It's definitely not tradable for me, but I can look at it anyway. Honestly, Benzinga had a nice little release. It said, "Trade the market, not your expectations." I like that. Not any new news for ALQA. We can look at TIK now, which is Texas Instruments. $615,000 order for test set for TIK, and that's making it gap up some. Not a ton of volume, little low volume. We can look at NBEV here. It's moving some. Let me know if you see anything else you want me to look up. I'm not seeing anything I like that much. Somebody asked me what I thought of MX. The volume's just a little bit too low for that one. Not really seeing anything for some of these as well, so kind of a weird day. What's up, Eric? Good morning, man. All right, guys, we got about 3 minutes until the open. 3 minutes, so good luck all. Let's try to make some money today. But at this point, you know, like I said, I've been consistent enough now to where really all I'm trying to do at this point is just use that consistent sizing. Just scale up, even if it's a bad week, even if it's a bad few weeks. I have to get up to that consistent share size because my trading's been good enough lately, and so it's just about using that consistent share size no matter what, and really just trying to. You know, take some bigger gains out of the market. It's time, you know, even if my account has to take some, you know, small swings with this scaling up process. I just need to understand my risk, get in good trades, you know, make the best decisions, and work on scaling up. Just, you know, I've used 300 shares every day this week, and so, you know, it's kind of the process. It's time, you know, we'll see how it goes.
All right, let's do this. Right now, I'm looking at top stock right now for me, at least, is AMD. AMD is probably the top stock for me right now.
NVLN, nice. Which news track racer? All right, guys, we got about a minute and a half left.
Man, that AOBC, since I wanted to short it back at 1340s, thing hasn't looked back. Thing made up its whole nice little $3 gap.
Which one?
AOBC.
Oh, look at Kron. Look at Kron starting to spike, guys.
Yeah, I see that spike.
Yeah, it's up to 1123, so check out Kron. It's starting.
Yeah, one of the key things, I'm going to also watch the overall market, see what we're going to get at the open.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, the goal is just to watch the market and watch some of these. Let them kind of make their initial moves first today.
100%. Let's not overreact.
Right. Let's wait for some confirmation, I believe. All right, guys. We have about 10 seconds, so good luck all. Let's do this. Here's the bell. All right. So, let's see what we get. AMD down, Kron up, WPM up, ALQA dropping, NBEV dropping, XPO dropping, TIK pushing up. Still a little early to tell, but let's get the intraday scanners up. AMD spiking.
Yep, just want to see it reject off of that 1976 or 1970 area. That's the resistance right now.
Appreciate it, two-way. Good luck to you as well, man. AMD spiking up. Yeah, TIK, I'm seeing a little spike there.
There's the resistance, 75. Let's see if it holds. Got bought up right there.
Yeah, I think it has some, probably some resistance at 84s or so for AMD. You can see that it had some support there, and not only in after hours, but previous day.
ACB looking good.
Cron dropping. CGC dropping too.
All right, putting in an order out here for ACB here. ACB put an order out at 552. Going to risk off of 555. Really small risk. Good reward there at the bottom there, 42.
ALQA, VLRX, WPM, all popping up on my scanners. This is Trade Ideas AP. NIO, looking at NIO here. Like I said though, today I'm gonna wait and let these test a little bit more first. Try to get on a secondary fade. UXIN, XPO giving it back, filling some of that gap. YNDX is fading too. I mean, ACB's up there. It touched 550.
Yeah, it's more like I'm judging the range here, and it's 8-cent profit on the first profit. That's where it's keeping me off, guys. It's too small of a profit. I feel like I'm chasing that down move, and for 8 cents, it's just not enough profit for me. I'm going to call that a C move, and I'm just going to let it go. I would have taken there at 550. It's a 5-cent risk for an 8-cent profit. Just doesn't seem correct to me.
There's a VWAP bounce on AMD. Nice little bounce there. I'm telling you, man, every time AMD it's been super predictable. Anytime that it spikes up at the open, it bounces. Almost most of the time when it spikes up like this, it bounces off the VWAP like it just did. Super tight risk, really nice bounce there. And most of the time when it drops down, it fades as well. But beautiful little bounce there for AMD. What's up, Kane? Good morning, man. I mean, one I'm honestly looking at is XPO.
NIO there.
Look at XPO, Mitch. Tell me what you think about that one. I mean, it's got a risk of 47.50, and so a risk of about 48 cents. Reward level though of like much more than that.
What's the ticker?
XPO. It's a little bit more expensive of a stock.
Yep, a little bit more of a range.
Right.
But not bad.
No, it looks like a good fade.
You have to lower share size for sure, because I think the risk is about 50 cents or 25 cents.
Right.
I would probably cut down half or to a third of your sizing. So for you, it would be
100 shares maybe.
Yeah, 100 shares maybe. You have to risk up to 50 or 40
55
bucks.
is really where I like, but
yeah,
I don't know. I'm debating on it. Doesn't look
it's
bad.
A big range.
Yeah.
APH. And look for a bounce here to 506.
NBEV tanking here.
All right, trying to get short here off APHA on a bounce to the VWAP here. Might have missed it already, but it kind of went already. It did like kind of a VWAP reject. This is kind of more of a VWAP reject. Went above for a second. Now I'm looking for a bounce back above that whole dollar and then I'll go ahead and I'll short it, trying to tackle down through that whole dollar. ACB's there. Also, NIO is kind of doing the same thing. And NBEV is probably looking like the best potential, really.
Hey, shout out to KC Mac with the $15 donation, brother. Appreciate it, man. Blessings to you as well, brother. That's awesome, dude. Appreciate it. Appreciate the $15 donation, man. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, kind of maybe kicking myself a little bit for not taking XPO. Kind of called it out. Look at that beautiful confirmation in my risk here. And this is what I always talk about in confirmation. But look at that confirmation in that 4750 risk.
Yep.
It's perfect.
You got to understand the risk to reward. That's it.
For sure. Yeah, it's just a little bit too expensive for me, a little bit out of my price range. But the trade idea remains the same. Nice little follow through there. Nice little confirmation is what it was. Yeah, looking at APHA, but yeah, appreciate that, KC Mac. Thanks, brother. All right, I'm looking at NBEV now. If NBEV gets up here, I'll consider it with a risk of 61s, maybe 62s. Maximum risk maybe 64, but I think 62 is reasonable for a risk. And then what is it? So that's 62. So that would be 6-cent risk, and then about a 13-cent reward. I don't know. Maybe I was wrong with XPO. It confirmed my risk, but then it squeezed over it. So I would have gotten stopped out. Glad I didn't take it.
ACB looking better now.
Yeah, NBEV, ACB, and
yeah, you know, it's one of those that I wanted to tackle, but the risk and reward wasn't there on the first down move. And one of the keys to the VWAP fade is a big red move open.
Right.
And I didn't see it being the range being worth it to try to tackle in the beginning. Now I'm seeing a couple stocks coming to the VWAP, and they're all looking kind of interesting, mainly in the weed industry.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm looking at NBEV. Yeah, AMD had that beautiful bounce. Look, there's NIO. With a risk of maybe... I don't know how good the risk reward would be on NIO, actually. But, I mean, you could set it at 50. I think you're going to get stopped out a lot. But
You need a little bit more bounce in APHA.
yeah, I mean, I watch it NBEV. I like APHA too, though. Kind of the same pattern. What's your risk on APHA, though, if it gets up there?
510. Looking for a 502 entry here. Have the order out.
Looks good. A lot of resistance above it. I think that looks good.
Yeah, see, we get a little bounce, get filled.
But yeah, appreciate that, KC Mac. Thanks, brother. Here we go. Here it is for APHA. It looks good, man. I mean,
yeah, I have the order out at 502, so trying to get filled here. All right, there you go. Filled here, guys. I didn't share the screen. There he goes.
yeah, I wouldn't put you up. I'm kind of in the middle. I'm watching.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, here, I could pull it up on my other
No,
monitor.
it's okay.
Okay.
It's all good. I mean, it's very early in the trade.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I'm looking at ACB here, too. ACB just has a really tight risk of like 52, 53.
All right, Kron shot back up, so I got to be really careful here.
Yes, Keith, I do. Here, I'll give me a minute, man. I'll post the. We have one of our sample classes on risk that I could post. Yeah, CGC is starting to spike up as well.
All right, guys. It's making a great move there. There's a bunch of ads there. Got to be careful here, guys.
All right, I jumped in a little bit early with NBEV with 100 shares. I'm going to plan to add some sizing back to it if it gets up to the VWAP a little bit better. Risk of 560.
509's there. All right, I'm out, guys.
Good job. You followed your plan.
It is what it is. Can't do nothing about that. I feel like the weed stocks are bouncing back here, and they're bouncing back strong here. They're
Yeah.
all bouncing back pretty strong.
Yeah, I'm getting squeezed up with my
Yep.
NBEV trade.
Kron's pushing hard now. I'm gonna look for a VWAP bounce here on Kron.
Yeah, I'll let it test, but I'm getting squeezed up with NBEV as well, which is also a cannabis-related stock. It's a cannabis-infused drink company. There's 57s. Just going to hold it tight to my risk, which is 560.
AMD took off like a rocket.
It did, man. I saw that thing go. 57s, 58s. Like I said, just going to hold it tight to my risk at 60. See if we get a pullback here, consolidation or anything, but... Okay, I got squeezed up. $30 loss. Only about 10 cents with 30 shares, but faked me out. It's been a little tougher week for fades, I think. And so, I mean, it's just kind of how it goes sometimes. I just got to stick with the bigger share size and just be consistent with it. And understand a week like this is going to happen. I mean, this is typically, it's kind of frustrating for me, to be honest, because it's like, if you look at my stats, right, in the last 3 weeks, I've been doing extremely well. And then the 1 week I scale up, it's just a terrible week for fades. And it always tends to happen, and that's usually why I go back down to share size. But I gotta just stick with it, because eventually it'll even itself out. But frustrating regardless. In the end, relative to the share sizing I'm using, it's like a $15 loss maybe. And so it's fine, but or a 15-cent loss per share. But still frustrating. Accuracy-wise, it's been about a break-even week anyway. I don't know. I mean, like I said, it's kind of one of those things where the fade was super reliable the last 3 weeks. And this week it just hasn't been as reliable. I don't know if it's the overall market. It probably has to do with, honestly, that the cannabis stocks have been down. You know, like they took a hit yesterday. And, you know, I thought NBEV may be the one outlier that drops today, and it just wasn't. You know, a lot of bullish action in the market today, so maybe not great for shorts. Overall,
Kron just got bought up big.
Yeah, I'm watching it squeeze now. Yeah, man, it's just been a tough week for my strategy specifically. You know, like yesterday, AMD. I don't think it was a bad trade idea. I think I got out at the right time too, considering this huge move up. I just think that it's been the fade hasn't been working as well. You know, and that's kind of how it goes. You know, you'll have green week, green week, green week, one red week. You know, green week, red week, green week, green week, and that's kind of what trading is. You're never going to be always right or always have green weeks. It just sucks that the 1 week I scale up in sizing, this is my first red week in a month. And so if I stick to it, I'll be fine. But like I said, you can probably tell I'm a little frustrated with it. Oh yeah, what did WPM end up doing? Good trade though. I mean, if WPM gets back to 1911, I don't hate it. I'd have to do a risk of like 1935 or so though, and so about a 25-cent risk. So I'd have to scale down a little bit. But I don't hate that one either. Get a gap fill going, but it's all about whether it actually gets up there or not. QD as well. I mean, QD's dropping like a fly here. QD 604 entry gives me a 11-cent reward target. Not the best risk reward.
For you long traders out there, a stock that is, I'm not sure if it's halted, but it's moving slow, ADIO. There's APHA getting bought up at 520s big time.
Yeah, a lot of stuff just faked fades today. Like there's a lot of fake outs. CGC, NBEV, what else? ACB, you know, YNDX, XPO. You know, so a lot of fake outs today with fades, honestly. You know, they set up nicely, got a big drop at the open, and then just a big reversal with a lot of these. Johnson & Johnson, what's the ticker? For Johnson & Johnson, was it JOHN?
SPY turned around on us.
Yeah, SPY's running here. And that's why I think there was a lot of fake outs with fades. It's because the SPY pulled down and then just spiked up. J&J. That's a crazy press release to put out. Appreciate the sub, Satith Kumar. Appreciate it. Yeah, Jason, get on your stuff, man. Come on, bro. Yeah, at this point, I really don't see much I like it anymore. Maybe WPM if it can get up to the VWAP with a risk of 35, maybe 40. So about a 30-cent risk. I would have to scale down substantially with like 100 shares, but I don't think that looks terrible if it gets up to the VWAP. I like the gap up extended move. And I think it'll probably give some back. I think it has some room at least to the 18s. Yeah, I'm just messing with you, Jason. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of confirming my belief. So one thing I'm noticing about myself, right, is that weeks when I take a day off, like weeks when I don't trade on one day, I do substantially better. And I think it's because my mind's in the right place. I think I traded every day this week. And it's a small down week relative. Like I had it's about a $30 loss this week in gross profits at least. So but not seeing anything I like, except for maybe WPM. Maybe. Just depends. Yeah, we'll see if AMD gets the VWAP bounce. Typically, AMD does really well with these type of moves where it pulls back to the VWAP here. That sucks, Isaac. It happens, brother. Yeah, let me know if you guys see anything. I just don't see anything I really like right now. Maybe QD, maybe with the 10-cent risk with 580 reward level, but not an A plus. I don't think. And like I said, I'm watching WPM. If it can get up to 1910, 1908, 1910, I may take it with a fade just because it has some resistance at 1917, but my risk would be at probably 35, 1935, 1936. AMD bouncing before it could ever really get to the VWAP.
There's some buyers stepping in ACB and also APHA. It's a lot of volume there at 525, guys. 19,000 shares just went through.
Yeah, ACB still running here. All right, so I'm watching WPM. That's about the only one I'm really watching right now. It has to get up to 1908. It's at 1892 now, so it's got to get up about what is that, 16 cents. I don't hate it. It's just got to get up there. Big if whether it gets up there or not. Yeah, XPO's got a little flag there. I see it. APHA, yeah, really running up here. Maybe stepping on thin ice, shorting in this market right now. That sucks, Jason.
Thinking of VWAP rejection on UXIN, but the VWAP is way too high to take it. It's way too risky. Can get back above that 780s and really push.
Yeah, if the VWAP was below that previous move at around 730, I would like it more, but like you said, it's too high for me. I agree.
All right, guys, have a buy order here for NIO. NIO at 757 would be risking off of 751. 6-cent risk. Need to pull back here to get filled here. Seeing the push here. And let a pullback happen here. Look to see it if this flag wants to hold there. I think it just got bought up. Yeah, not going to give me a chance here.
All right, right, here's a move up to 98 for WPM. I don't mind taking 50 shares here just in case it gets rejected at 19. And then adding the 50 shares back to it to get a full size of about 100 shares with a risk of 1926 or so. Just in case it gets rejected at this whole dollar. Right around the VWAP, I think it's close enough. Maybe jumping in too early, but it's a bigger range stock, and so I have to kind of scale down a little bit. I'm trading with about 4,000 ranch.
It's a lot of volume pumping into wheat stocks right now.
Yeah, man, a lot of them are taking off.
I'm trying to find maybe a long potential pattern on them, but there really isn't anyone that's setting up. They're just kind of making these little moves up, but there's no strategy there.
All right, James, have a good day, brother. Appreciate it, man. You as well, brother. You as well, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm just in a little starter position now for WPM. If it gets up to the VWAP, I'll add to it, but at this point, it's kind of sitting there. Later, brother. Yeah, see you Monday, man. Uh-oh. Sing for us, Mitch.
Oh, I'm about to, bro. That's how bored I am. You know what?
I can play the Jeopardy music, you know.
Oh, I need it sometimes. AMD is probably about the only one that's setting up. Looking at UXIN, want to see that get rejected there. See this pattern in here, but I can't take it because the spread's too big. When the spread's too big, you can just put yourself in a big world of hurt immediately. If the spread opens up another 10, 20 cents and it's already over your risk, you're going to have to hold a little bit longer than your risk. And that's when you really get kind of caught.
Right.
You see a stock that has a huge kind of range. You don't want to be caught in that.
Right.
Look at Sogo.
Yeah, UXIN, nice little VWAP bounce. If you look at UXIN.
Yep, that's what I was looking at. I had that feeling it was going to do it.
Confirm the risk even too from 32s or so.
All right, maybe here, a bounce here in Sogo to 582s off of 588s.
Yeah, I'm still at my little starter for WPM. If it gets up to 1908, I'll add the other remaining shares. But if not, just gonna see if it can hold this $0.50. But yeah, UXIN, beautiful little bounce, tight risk, confirmed the risk even of 730s. I mean, I'm not hating WPM. I think the risk is tight relative to the bigger reward. It's just a bigger range stock, and so, like I said, I'm in with a tiny sizing just to little.
That's not bad. Now I'm looking at the setup. It's not bad.
Right.
It's not a good look at all.
Yeah, I'm in it now with just a starter around 19, 18.95, and just letting the rest work. See, just in case it does get rejected. Yeah, I mean, I'll add to it if it gets up to 1908, but I don't think it's bad. It's tight risk. Big reward. So that's all I can really look for. NIO at VWAP? Yeah, NIO is at the VWAP. The only problem with it is that the previous high of the day of that first move at 755 is above it.
There you go.
There's a washout. I mean, I could have taken a full sizing here, but you know.
Yeah, I definitely think this one gave you potential there. 1911, good risks.
Yeah.
1910, good risk spot, good potential. What do we always want? 3-1 here,
Right.
and that's exactly what you're getting on this trade.
For sure.
This is the trade that I was looking for today.
Yeah,
Remember how I said early in the day that the risk to reward wasn't matching? This is the risk to reward. This is the trade we should be taking. This is the one we should be full sizing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna let this little 50 shares work, but there's the nice little follow through.
And it just shows you, bro, you can't do that to yourself. If you're gonna do 50 shares, just don't take the trade.
I know it never touched the VWAP. That's the only thing. Like I took it.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of the ways I approach it, to where like I'll get in a little bit early with small share size. So if it gets rejected like this beforehand, I'm still holding something. I didn't miss out on the complete move. But if it actually does get to the VWAP, I can scale in the full sizing. And this is one of the ones where it just never got up there for me to get full sizing. Definitely regretting it.
Half sizing is what you need to go in there, and that's 150.
Right.
Because 50 shares isn't going to do anything for you.
I'm going to give it time, see if it can fill this gap, break that low of the day.
It's a beautiful trade.
Right, for sure.
I got to the point where I even wanted to take it. It was at 94s, and that's not where to take it. It was up there in the 97s off of 1910.
Stockmarketwatch.com, Rick. Snap trade. All right, we'll see. I'm going to let it test the low, you know, get a little break here. Only problem is I can't really scale out at this point. Kind of sucks, but I'll let it test the low. Beautiful. It's just kind of everything we look for a fade. It's an overextended move. It pulled back to the VWAP, you know.
Yeah, that was a good one right there. It's one of those that
I wish I would have hammered. Yeah.
It's one of those, brother. You know, it's just that, you know, if you're gonna take the trade, we gotta stay to our share size, as long as the range is not ridiculous. And the range wasn't ridiculous in this. It's 30 cents to the VWAP. And 30 maximum 20 cents risk there. And if you get in at 19, it's a 40-cent gain. So it's still a 2-1 on that. ZN guys, ZN going off.
See if we get this low of the day cracking it now, though. That's the big next kind of progression in it. Let's see if it cracks the low of the day. It's trying. Here's the move. 66.
It's getting hit hard right now.
That's exactly right, Dex. That's been my problem lately. Is that it's a process for sure. It's just kind of scaling up in sizing. It's a process for sure. But that's been my problem lately. Is that big loss, small win. You know, after the loss, I scale down and don't take the full move. Same thing I did yesterday. But I knew it would be a process of adjusting to bigger sizing, and that's kind of what the process is, and you know, the holes I need to fix in my game after doing so.
DFFN looks like it's about to get some momentum through the 50s. Doesn't look bad, really. I just can't take it.
Yeah, Trevor. Hey, man, I saw you emailed me, brother. It's not that I haven't wanted to get back or that I've been ignoring you. I'm actually going out of town today. Right after the stream, I'm leaving to go out of town, so it's been busy, man. I've been packing up and stuff, but I'll try to get back to you when I'm on the road and try to email you back. But yeah, it's just been kind of busy. At this point, if it breaks that 1975 level, I'll get out. And I'm not opposed to adding back to it if it gets back up to the VWAP, but we'll see. All right, there's 64s. Let's see if we get this low of the day crack. should.
There's one I missed. Matt, MAT, just kind of faked me out a little bit. I stopped watching it when it bounced above, went to near that 12 again, but it just quickly washed down, held down underneath the VWAP, and cracking down there hard.
All right, but if anybody was in our class yesterday, you could see I'm managing this the same way I talked about, where it's like it has this previous high here at 75. If it breaks that, I can get out. But as long as it stays in between that range or breaks the low of the day, I'll be fine.
It's one of those that, due to the amount of share size that you took,
scale out. I gotta let it trust.
Scale out.
Yeah.
And so you have to understand.
Here we go.
Day, what you're looking for.
Here's the break. Yeah, for sure, 100%. I mean, I understand myself. I knew this week, since I've been scaling up, that my motions might be a little worse this week and that I might make some mistakes like this. And I think it's just the process of scaling up in sizing. You know, it's just what happens when you scale up, and it's something that I'm just going to have to condition myself to make the right plays and get in the right moves. And it's normal, you know, like I said, it's just kind of how it goes, you know. All right, there's 60. We'll see if we get a break here.
Yep, looks like it's going to smash.
Would have been a home run trade, though, but...
Yeah, well, you would have been able to at least take off some sizing there.
For sure.
And then really just let it go. If it comes back, I'm sure in this kind of trade, you can add.
Right.
Beautiful trade there.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Just gotta kind of, step up with those cojones.
Yes, sir. All right, let's see if we can crack 1850 now. That's the goal. I'll let it work. But
yeah.
Beautiful follow through, man. Just a perfect follow through. Everything I would look for. And I mean, even with 50 shares, I'm up $20-something. And so with 300 shares, it would have been big. 47s. There's a crack at 1850. Let's see if we get a hold under this. I want to see a break under 1850 and then hold that level as resistance. That's what I'm looking for. All right, I'm out this one for a 950 loss. It bounced back over 1850. I'm not opposed to adding to it if it gets back up to the VWAP there. I think the exit was the right exit, and
yeah, with your share size, I think that's the best move you could make, brother.
Right. I think I traded it almost perfectly relative to the share size I had, but definitely needed to take some bigger sizing. Like I said, it's kind of one of those moves, and this is what you get sometimes where it's like, with the VWAP fade, kind of the way I like to approach it is that if it gets close to the VWAP and it doesn't quite touch it and there's some obvious resistance above, like in this case the whole dollar of 19, I'm not really opposed to getting in with a small size. That way, if it does wash out like it did before it actually hits my main entry, then I'll still be holding some position to it. And that's kind of what happened here. I think in this situation, since my normal share size would be 300 shares, I could have at least taken 100 or 150 and, made $60 or $70 from this trade. But it's kind of how it goes. I took away most of my loss on the day, and so I'm happy with it. But like I said, scaling up, guys, it's a process. And, it's one of those things where I knew this week may be a little bit more emotional, scaling up to the sizing I'm using. And, I know I'm going to make some mistakes this week. And it's just about doing this over and over again until I'm conditioned enough to do the right thing here. Until I'm conditioned enough to really, take these swings and make this money. But happy with my trading overall. My accuracy rate has stayed pretty damn high. And now it's just about actually taking advantage of the full reward I give myself and just kind of rinsing and repeating what's worked for me thus far. But beautiful example of what we look for at the fade. Everything kind of lined up with it because 1, we had a big drop at the open. 2, it was an overextended gap up, gapping up over 10%. 3, It washed out beautifully, big drop, and it faded off the VWAP nicely. And so that's kind of what we look for with the fade. And it ended up washing out. Maybe I got out a little early here, but I think I got maximum for the share size I had. Looking at XPO doesn't look like a bad VWAP rejection.
Yeah, I think 47.10 could be something you can do off of 56. 40 cent, 46-cent risk, and your profit is going to be at least $1.
Yeah. Looks like a good rejection. Aside from that, I mean, really, UXIN had a nice bounce. AMD had a nice bounce this morning. And WPM had a beautiful fade that I was able to take advantage of. But those were the best moves in the market today. Also, guys, TradeNet has their Christmas sale going on right now. And so I think you get like 25% off TradeNet packages right now. And so if you're interested in using the broker I'm using, I just posted the link. Like I said, it's like 25% off. And so essentially you're paying like $375, maybe $400 for $700 to lose. And so you're getting an extra $300 to lose. I think it's a pretty good deal, but do your research. If you go through my link, I make a commission from it. So maybe I'm biased with it, but I appreciate it if you go through my link. It's one of the ways we always keep the stream free, and I'll always keep this stream free. So yeah, guys, go check it out if you can. I think it's lasting until the 25th, so lasting until Christmas.
All right, there's that 47.10 mark. This is about where I would take the trade.
Yeah, I think it has a lot of resistance at 47.50s.
Yep.
Mitch is talking about XPO. Yeah, right. That's what we're talking about, Isaac. We're talking about this VWAP projection here for XPIO. Like you can see here, risk could be up here. You can see this obvious top here at about 47.60 really is where the top is. But it's still going to be good risk reward. At this point, you can set your reward level at least at 46, so $1.20 risk reward at this point. But I don't know. It's kind of edging towards that level.
Yeah, a little part of me is interested here at 23s off of 50. Oh, and there she goes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at just specifically risk reward, Trevor. I don't know if it's actually going to work or not. I'm just looking at the risk and reward in it.
Yeah, that's all. It's not really our price range, so I'm just going to kind of ignore it.
NIO bouncing off the VWAP there.
Oof.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Look at XPIO. It's down so much. I don't know if I'd feel comfortable shorting that one. Looking at the daily chart on XPO. I mean, the risk reward is there, but the conditions aren't. But man, WPM, beautiful little follow through here. Kind of one of those trades where I'm happy I had a decent gain from it. Took back most of my losses on the day. And I'm not really upset on how I approached it. I just think my starter position could have been a little bit bigger. And it's one of those things where gotta acknowledge it and then move on. I think ACB is probably going to pull back sometime soon. At least come back to that VWAP level.
Yeah, if it doesn't break out here, I'd be watching it.
It's just so much above the VWAP. I feel like it's going to pull back some, eventually. I don't know. It's breaking the high of the day. So I wouldn't really try to get that, but... Yeah, XBO, there it goes. Which is why we said it was tight risk reward, but the conditions weren't there. It was just too extended. If you look at the daily chart, like Trevor's saying, I agree with him. Where look at this big down move. It's most likely going to rebound some. Kind of the same reason I think that the cannabis fades didn't work this morning is because they were down a lot already. All right, looking at WPM here. I mean, if WPM essentially gets back to the VWAP, the only problem I have with it is that the VWAP is almost exactly where that previous high is at 19, and so it's not really. It's if it gets up there, it's putting in an equal high. It's not putting in a lower high. It's putting in like an equal high, and so I don't like that move as much. Um, but it doesn't look terrible. You know, it's kind of one of those trades where it's all preference, but I don't like it as much. The VWAP's right around that previous high, and so instead of putting in a lower high, which is what you want to see with the fade, it put in an even high, like an equal high to where it was before around 19, and so not terrible, but probably not wouldn't take it. Yes, BJ. Yeah, I shorted it. Had one losing trade on NBEV, and then a really nice trade on WPM. It's kind of fit everything that we look for with the strategy. Took too small of sizing with it though. My plan was to scale into it and with an entry of 1908, and it never got over 19, and so I only had that little starter. I made a 20 something dollars on it, but missed out on more. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I had that support level drawn out here as well, Trevor. 27, It got up to 34s, so I don't think it ever got to 29, actually. It got to 31. But I had the support level down at 1827, too, as you can see by the chart here. Did you too, BJ? You shorted it as well, man? It was a beautiful fade, man. It was kind of, like I said, if you wanna learn how to trade the fade, like Mitch and I do, there's a few conditions that make it extremely reliable. Number one, you need volume. WPM had pretty decent volume on the day. Number two is that you want to look for an overextended chart. You can see this gap up. It's definitely extended. If you look at the daily chart, it looks really extended. And so you get the overextended chart, and then you just look for a big washout at the open, like WPM here, which we really got. And so, it was a picture-perfect fade, but wish I would have taken a little bit more from it.
All right, guys, long here off of MBEV here.
Danny, man. Hey, brother. Hey, appreciate the $25 donation, Danny. Hey, brother. That's awesome, man. I really appreciate it. You didn't have to, man. I was just messing with you, bro, but it means a lot, man. Appreciate the support, brother. Look at WPM now, Mitch.
Long here on MBEV.
Oh, here, let me pull you up. But yeah, shout out to Danny, man. $25 donation. That's awesome. That's the biggest donation I've gotten in a while, man. So appreciate that, brother. Here, let me pull Mitch up so you can see Mitch.
Long here off of 77s here, guys. 7-cent risk. Looking to take some profit above 90s. Seeing a lot of bid here, a lot of bid action, huge bid amount. A lot of volume just going through there.
Yeah, Danny, like I said, man, I've used 300 shares every day this week. It's definitely a transitional week where I'm kind of getting used to the bigger sizing, which was to be expected, I think. Definitely made some mistakes this week, but I think that overall it's mostly been a break-even week so far. Maybe down $10 in gross. And so, that's fine. I just need to stick with it and continue to, really let it even itself out. I just have to commit to the bigger sizing and it will even itself out in the long run. Considering how well I've been trading lately. And so it's just about sticking to the bigger sizing at this point.
All right, seeing some strength here.
Let me look at it. ACB spiking, CGC spiking as well. Let me pull up NBV. What's your risk?
Risk is right off here, 75, the old prior kind of resistance acting as a support.
Yeah, I see it. Looks good. Don't mind it.
Got to be careful here, though. Wanted to swing around right here. Don't like that kind of that harmony right here.
I mean, if a strategy is working, I don't have anything against trading the same stock over and over again. Like Jason, if you look at my trading, honestly, in the last 3 weeks, a large majority of my money has been made using AMD fades, just trading a fade on AMD every time it sets up. And so, I think that's part of it. When I back tested AMD, it showed a lot of reliability, specifically with bounces and fades. And so it's one of those stocks that I've just been attacking over and over again. And, I'll continue to attack it until it shows me that it doesn't work anymore. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. If you find a little nuance in the market that works over and over again with a specific stock, I mean, take advantage of it, brother. Do it until it stops. Yeah, Danny, I'm actually going out of town today. I'm heading to Louisiana, going to New Orleans. And so I won't be in Texas anyway, brother, but I appreciate it, man. Yeah, for sure, 100%. I mean, like I said, if you look at my stats here, I'll show once Mitch is finished, I can show my stats, but a large majority of my gains have been from AMD.
All right, got to be careful here, guys. It didn't break out. I didn't see a huge breakout in the wheat stocks, and this didn't move. So essentially, you got to hold to a tight stop here at 77. As we should get some momentum to move it up, but we haven't gotten it. So there's 78s. Got to be quick here. Out.
No stress. You stuck to your levels.
Yep, it's just how it is. Just not probability not falling on my side today for sure.
Yeah, it's happened. It's been a little weird day for fades and stuff, honestly.
Yep, had everything pointed out there.
But yeah, if you look at the last 3 weeks of
tops, just no move there.
Don't stress it, man. I mean, it's just kind of how it goes sometimes. But yeah, no, if you look at my stats here, right, and you look at the instrument, AMD is the top stock. It's what I made most of my money on. And so ACB is what I've actually lost the most money on. But it's kind of one of those things where I noticed it worked, and so I just kind of keep attacking it. And it back testing it showed up. And so, if it works, guys, Otrep, man. Hey, brother, let me ask you something, Otrep. So if my VWAP fade strategy is garbage, where did this graph come from? It's really easy to kind of mess with you trollers like this because, I mean, look at it, man. Like, you could say my strategy is garbage and everything like that, but look at my accuracy rate, man. My accuracy rate is 77%. 78% really in the last 3 weeks. Look at even if you want to look at my month and a half graph, this is only VWAP fades. And so yeah, man, it looks like it's a terrible strategy. Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to ban them. It's fine. You get trolls like this, right? This is what happens. You get people, and this is kind of how it goes, right? But you get people that stay quiet You know, the last 3 weeks, right? I've had what, like 4 losing days in 3 weeks, right? You get silence during that time frame, and then 1 week where you do okay, you don't do great, you don't do terrible. It's kind of a maybe a losing week, but a break even week. That's when you get haters come out, and the truth is like they're just insecure. You know, like they're insecure with their own life, and you know, so it feels good to kind of criticize other people because they don't get enough pride in real life. You know what I mean? And so because of that, they kind of lean towards criticizing other people to make themselves feel better. And the truth is, I kind of feel sorry for them. You know, like if you're one of those people that goes and kind of hates on a bunch of people online, you just got to be massively insecure, just really insecure. And so, like I said, I feel bad for you, man. You know, like good luck with those issues, brother, because criticizing me is not going to make you feel better. But like I said, if I'm a terrible trader, what happened to you the last 3 weeks, man, when I was having, you know, barely any losing days? The criticism comes out when I have a bad day or a bad week. And so it's to be expected online, but, you know, work on those insecurities, brother. No, yeah, I mean O-Trep, not you, Trevor. But almost guaranteed what this is like somebody that I banned before that came back under a new name, and now they're butthurt, and so they're going to come talk smack. Hey, Jason, mate, you know, do what you got to do, brother. Right. I mean, listen, no, it's not you, Trevor. I know you're just trying to help. You're not, you know, you didn't really say anything wrong, Trevor.
So yeah, I like this pattern breakdown in UXIN here, but it's not the strategy that I want to follow right now. So, but I do think it's a great trade right there. If you can get it off the 60s, risk off of 76 or 80s there, um, could get a great potential reward there down to about $7.
No, I didn't say your name. I said, what was the name? What was his name? O-Trep. Not you, Trevor. His name was O-Trep. But like this is the state of the YouTube world, right? This is kind of how it goes. Everybody else on YouTube, one thing you'll notice about everybody else on YouTube, right, is that none of them actually live stream showing their trades. They may live stream, but they don't show you their account balance. They don't show you their profit and loss. They might not even show you their trading window. They might just tell you they're in a trade, you know? And if they don't do that, then they're just live streaming in pre-market, right? There's a reason they don't live stream after the bell rings. And because it's really hard to back up the accuracy rates that they claim. And so people have an unreasonable expectation. You know, Mitch and I are literally the only people on YouTube that actually live stream showing people everything. And, you know, that's going to make certain people insecure. Maybe they follow some of these bigger traders that don't really show people everything. And they feel like they need to have their back, you know, or whatever it is. But the truth is that, like, we're giving people all of this for free, regardless of whether we're winning or losing. You know, we're being honest with people about everything. And I think that makes people feel threatened because we're showing people the truth behind it all, you know? You hear Mitch's fake trades? Super fake, man. You know? I have a student account, Chi. Yeah, like I said, he live streams, but he hides his account balance, hides his profit and loss. Seems to do really well when he's not live streaming, and then once he does start live streaming, for some reason he doesn't do good at all. And then he stops live streaming, and then back to Green Day after Green Day. And so, not hating, but you can't ignore the red flags there. You know what I mean? And that's what most people do on YouTube. It's like I said, not hating on Pat. I mean, that's, he's a cool channel, but I mean, that's just kind of what YouTubers do. And that's why, like, Mitch and I try to be different. We try to show people everything. But like I always say, I'm not talking about one specific person. They all do it. And so it's like when you get people like Mitch and I who just show people everything, people are going to hate. People are going to have unreasonable expectations, and that's fine. But the truth is, like, we're giving people this stuff for free. So you can hate on us because we have courses, or you can hate on us for whatever reason, but we give people all of this for free. We don't charge people a penny for this. And so people hate, but a lot of times they're a little entitled, or they have unreasonable expectations. Yeah, for sure. I mean, the live streams is just about talking about what's moving. I mean, we're actually trading in live and everything like that. I don't know about the steak restaurant, man. If you're coming to Houston, though, go to Rudy's Barbecue. Go to Rudy's Barbecue. That's where you want to go. Rudy's Barbecue place, like, that's the place. You know what I mean? Watch, I want to do something real quick.
Hey Sid, it's a lonely road. That's why we have the channel here every day.
Yeah, we walk a lonely road, but it's the only road we've ever known. Yeah, that was a Green Day reference.
That old band.
Hey, bro, I grew up in the '90s, man.
Yeah, I grew up too.
All right, yeah, I'm not really seeing too much else I like. What was it? WMP?
WPM.
WPM.
Yep.
If it pulls back to the VWAP,
that was a beaut.
Right.
I think this one's heading down to 18th. You can see it going to 1813. That's what the daily chart says. Watching this UXIN here. Looks very interesting right now, guys. It's either going to probably break out above 780s or kind of reject up here in the 70s and probably slap back down. going to go ahead and just keep an eye on it, try to be neutral, and approach the trade in an objective state of mind.
Right.
There's the buys in 70s.
I've put up a statistical graph showing what YouTube is like right now.
Pull back to 62, 65s is what could happen here. And then an eruption through the 80s.
Does everybody like my graph I just put up? This is what trading is like in the trading world. You know, this is what you get when you trade on YouTube. You get up, silence. The haters just, they don't come out when you have these big up moves like this where you're having perfect weeks and like, you know, 80, 90% accuracy. But you have this little dip here and all of a sudden we suck, you know.
You know how it is, brother.
Yeah. Right. Like, I'm going to post this, you know, too. But this is what you get. This is literally what you get on YouTube right now. Like, this is how people are, you know. And it's funny because it kind of shows insecurity. Like, you get people that hate on you for whatever reason, right? And, like, when you're doing well, it's just silence. It's just quiet, you know. You have a rough week where it's just a little dip in your profit and loss chart. And all of a sudden, we suck. We're a scam. And it's just kind of what we sign up for when we stream on YouTube. But it doesn't mean I can't laugh at the irony behind it all.
It's crazy. A lot of overbought stocks in the weed industry right now. Kind of looking to see what's going to happen here. The amount of volume that's gotten in it's a big amount, especially relative to the earlier. It's actually had more volume in the last probably 20 minutes than it did the first 20 minutes. There's NIO all the way back up.
Just a weird day for fades, honestly. We only got one good one with WPM. I'm not seeing too much else I really like.
'71's got hit hard there.
No, I mean, not every day's weird. Certain days are weird to me. You know, they're just, when I say weird, I just mean fades aren't working as well. Most of the time it's because the overall market has a bullish sentiment. But, you know, some days I think are weird. Some days when I say weird, like I said, it usually just means fades aren't working as well as they usually do. And so that is weird to me. But, hey, no stress. XPO, spike it up. ALQA is kind of forming a symmetrical triangle here. Yeah, every day is just a different day. You know, it's something we always talk about. Like, every day is a different day, you know. Every day is completely unique.
Every trade is completely unique.
Right. Kim, but yeah, this is the thing, right? I'm using that 30-day chart with $150 in profit. That's with 100 shares. You know, that's with me using 100 shares every day. And so that $150 in profit is actually, that $150 in, oh, get out of here, bro. Right. I've been break even the last few days, man. But God, man, you made a whole nother account. You must be desperate, bro. Go in timeout. Really, I'm just gonna hide you. But no, what I was saying though, Kim, is that I've been using small sizing, right? And so my profits don't reflect well enough because my sizing is so small. And so this week I've been scaling up to 300 shares and just trying to get used to that. I always say, like, I'm not an expert or a guru or anything like that, but in order to go, like, for instance,
All right, guys, I'm short here on UXIN here.
here,
Has to be a quick trade off of 70. Has
Right.
to be a quick trade, guys. Off of 70s here. Need the weight to come on and slap down here. Saw a big shorter step in there. Saw the weight come on here at 14,000 shares. But you have to be quick on this kind of trade here. This is a pattern breakdown trade. The weight needs to come down and break down the pattern right here. You can hold off that 69.
But no, what I was saying though, here, let me pull you up, Mitch. What I was saying though is that the that $150 gain or whatever it was, that is from using 100 shares, right? So that's $1.50 per share gain. And for instance, if I was using 1,000 shares, which is kind of medium to large sizing, I would have made $1,500 in the last 30 days. And so you can look at it and say, well, that's only $150 in gains. And yes, that's small. But if you consider the fact that it was actually 100 share sizing, that's actually a pretty nice gain overall. And it's something that I have to work on using larger sizing to take better profits out of the market. And like, that's where I'm at as a trader. But, the accuracy rate's up there. I'm at like 80% accuracy, and so you could hate on me or whatever. I've been about break even really in the last month after commissions, but that's why I'm using bigger sizing now and why I'm trying to scale up. And I've always said, like, I'm not trying to act like an expert or guru or anything like that. I'm just trying to show people what it takes to really kind of work towards consistency. And if you don't agree with it, fine. But it's $150 sounds small, but when you consider the fact that it was 100 shares on average, that's a pretty nice percent gain in that sizing. Right, exactly, Matthew. Like, that's how you do it. Like, that's how you build your confidence and you work your way up to bigger sizing, is by taking small sizing at first. And like, that's kind of the journey as a trader, right? Like, you show consistent profits at one sizing, you start to scale up and use bigger sizing, get used to that, show consistent sizing with that, scale up to bigger sizing, and so forth and so on. Kind of like, that's the journey of a trader, you know? But like I said, if you look at my stats from the last month, my chart's been beautiful. Like, that's a pretty chart, and you can't pretend like my stats aren't good in the last month. It's about break even though in the last month after commissions, but like I said, that's why I'm scaling up in sizing. But for instance, like, the fact that I have those stats in the first place,
I got squeezed out there.
don't stress it, man. You just gotta stick to the strategy, brother.
Hey, that's how it goes. Nothing falling my way. Just can only take my right risk to reward. And from there on, part of it is not being able to trade yesterday. Yesterday we had a big down day. Would have been able to make those monies. Can't take the triggers. Trade the next day and got into a bounce day. That's what happens.
Yeah, Panna. So you just start slow. Just start slow, take small sizing, research what you want to do, what strategy you want to implement, back test it, paper trade it, practice it, work on building a plan, analyze risk and reward. I mean, there's a lot of things you got to start with. It's kind of a broad question. But biggest advice is just to start slow, take small sizing and, and work your way up to finding consistency. It's a process for sure.
INAP going off.
Later, BJ. Have a good day, man. Shorting just means you're profiting from the stock dropping. Hassan. Yeah, no stress. No, Kim, I completely understand. I'm not mad at you or anything like that. But no, I guess I just wanted to clarify that. Like, yes, this is my graph, right? And you could look at my graph and see that, it's a profitable graph for sure. It's a green graph for sure. But this is with average of 150 shares, or no, 100 shares on average, right? And so when I do that, it's yes, $150 in gains may seem small, but when you consider the fact that I'm using 100 shares on average, that is $1.50 per cent in percent gains. And so, like I said, if I was using 1,000 shares, that would be $1,500 I made in the last 30 days. And so, that's a great gain, And at this point, since I've been showing that decent consistency, I'm moving up to scaling up and sizing. And that's kind of what we get this week, where it's like, the last 3 weeks or so, I've been averaging like one losing day a week, like about one losing day a week. The reason it doesn't reflect as much on my account is because commissions play such a huge factor when you're only using 100 shares. And so, this last week I've been scaling up and trying to get up to 300 shares. And it's a transitional period. It's going to take me a little bit of time to adjust. I may have a losing week, maybe a few losing weeks as I'm getting used to using that bigger sizing. But, the fact that I can go a month and average one losing day a week shows that I'm a good trader. At this point, it's just about scaling up and getting used to the emotions that come with that. And that's kind of the level I'm at right now. We have a system, our system works, and I'm just trying to rinse and repeat what works. And now at this point, it's just about scaling up and sizing. 100%, that's most likely true, Panna. So one thing I always tell new traders, and this is what nobody else will tell you, right? You follow these other gurus, not hating on the gurus. I think the gurus have good content. But you'll see a lot of stuff like, is it possible to make millions of dollars in trading in a short period of time with an initial deposit of $1,000? Yes. Buy our course. And, while it's technically possible, it is highly unlikely. And any money that you start with in trading, you are almost guaranteed to lose as a brand new trader. There's always going to be outliers who do really well when they first get started, but it's extremely rare. Is it possible? Yeah, it's possible, just like winning the lottery is possible. But it's highly, highly unlikely. And I don't care what anybody says, because most of those people are trying to actually sell you something. And so you want to understand that when you first get started, take it slow. Use small sizing. You're probably going to lose anyway. At least if you're using small sizing, you're not going to lose as much. And you can spend some more time in the market. But take it slow. Find a strategy that you like, that works. Test that strategy, master that strategy. Then try to recreate that and with live money, with real money. If that works, then build yourself rules to follow and approach it that way. But you're most likely going to lose money, especially when you get started. And the reason, there's the clicheing that 90% of traders fail. The reason they fail is because they use big sizing when they get started, lose it all, and then say trading's rigged, I give up. And then they turn into that 90% of traders that fail. But if you approach it practically with small sizing and take it slow, you'll have a little bit better chances of success. But just take it slow. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's probably going to take a long time for you to learn how to be profitable. And it's not really what anybody wants to hear. I know that traders get all these hopes and dreams in trading and want to pay their bills and mortgage and their gas bill with trading and everything like that. But you're not going to be able to do that most likely. Most people aren't. And when you first get started, your goal is just to preserve your account long enough to spend time in the market and learn as much as you can. All right, guys. Also, another reminder. Like I said, TradeNet does have their Christmas sale going on, and so I think it's either 25 or 20% off, and so it's not a bad deal. You know, you can pay instead of 500 for the intro package, it's like 399 and maybe 375, and so it's a pretty cheap deal, honestly. And you get $700 to lose by paying 400, and so you get an extra $300 to lose. Not a bad deal. If you want to use the broker I'm using, which has cheap commissions. Also, though, a lot of stocks aren't tradable, so do your research about them. But if you're interested in signing up, you can go through my link I just posted in the chat. And it's one of the ways we keep the stream free. I make a commission from it, so maybe I'm biased. So do your research, but it's one of the ways we keep the stream free. And so if you're interested in supporting the channel and want to use the broker I'm using, you can go through the link I just posted in the chat. Hey, nice, Eric. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to trade anymore today. I just don't see much I like. It's kind of a bullish day, it looks like, in the market, except for a few select stocks. And so I was looking at ALQA and this little triangle pattern it formed, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, kind of does. Track Racer. But yeah, we actually got a hater here. It's kind of funny. It's like I said, you know, the whole 3 weeks prior to this when I was doing really well, it was just silence. And so the 1 week I don't do great, we get the haters coming out, which is to be expected, I guess. You got some people that appreciate the stream and appreciate the fact that we're doing this for free and actually letting people watch all our trades. And then you have insecure people. And so maybe I shouldn't let it get to me too much, but I'm probably done for the day, Isaac.
Yep, I'm done for the day also. I'm actually going to head up, get on out of here. You know, missed a couple trades today. Probability not going my way. Maybe going outside of the strategy. Definitely did see some strength in the wheat stocks, but at the end of the day.
Dude, he's back. Look, he's back again. Hey, Trap, I got a question for you, man. How insecure do you have to be to create 3 fake accounts just to get deleted every time, man? The truth must hurt, brother. The truth must hurt, man. Have a good weekend, guys. I'll see y'all later. I'm going to a wedding. And so I'm going out of town, like right as soon as the stream ends. But have a good day, y'all. We'll see you all later. Right. Good luck, JJ. Have a good day, brother. Yeah, I'll see you all on Monday, man. You know. Listen, Treep. Listen, brother. Hating on me is not going to make you feel better about your life, bro. Hating on me is not going to make you feel better. And so you can hate on me. But like I said, you hate on me that much, you create 3 fake accounts. The insecurity's got to be super strong with you, bro. And so have a good weekend, man. You know, maybe get that checked out, brother. But good luck, guys. I'll see you all Monday morning. We'll do, Eric. Later, guys.